What can we expect going into the weekend with Bitcoin? Usually we have some high volatility weekends ahead of us. This one, are we going to be moving further to the downside, or can we come back up and retest that 10K and maybe break through it this time? That's yet to be determined, but if y'all stick around for the video, we're going to dive on into the charts, see what they might be telling us, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if y'all are brand new to the channel, we go over the BTC charts every single day on this channel, so please stick around, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that we make. So with that being said, yeah, also we use the market cipher indicator by CryptoFace on this channel. If y'all are interested in checking that out, y'all can check some of the links in the description box. I have a link to his channel down there as well if y'all want to learn a little bit more how to get this indicator. And then also, I did recently purchase the TD Sequential by Tone Vase, but I need to do a little bit further more research on it just to make sure that I'm reading it properly, and that I want to make sure that I can do my best with reading such indicators as well. But we're just going to use the market cipher indicator for right now, and then later on in the future we'll start to throw in the TD Sequential as well if that might help us out. So we can see here, looking at our 15-minute time frame, we had all these blood diamonds pop off, and then we moved all the way down to that 9100 area almost. So we were holding very nice support at the 9K area as well. So that's obviously going to be of some support for us moving forward from here on out. We did end up breaking below 9,500, and it does kind of look like we are kind of struggling with that as of right now. With our daily candle opening here, the bulls did kind of take control. They've been fighting it a little bit with the bears here, and then it did seem like the bulls are kind of ready to take this maybe a little bit higher. We'll see. It looks like as of last night, possibly we moved all the way almost back up to 10K, or I mean not 10K, 9,500, or that maybe 9,600 almost too. So we need to be really cautious moving forward from here on out, but let's just move on into these higher time frames, see what they might be telling us as well moving forward. We are putting in somewhat of a green money flow as of right now, but if we come back here, we've had a substantial, this will probably end up being a lower high on our money flow as well. Maybe end up putting in some type of trend line down here. We could kind of draw it out just a tad bit. Something like this may move us back into that red money flow area as well. We did get our death cross with our EMAs here, which kind of sent us down to the bottom side moving forward. Let's go on into our 30-minute time frame here. 30-minute time frame also kind of showing us a little bit of the money flow, but it looks like we are kind of bouncing from our zero pivot point here, and maybe making another leg down possibly as well too. So we'll kind of just have to wait to see how these kind of play out. Our money flow was kind of rounding off for the most part when we ran all the way up to that 10K area, and now we are kind of dripping down just a tad bit. So we'll take a look at, keep an eye on the 30-minute just to see what it might be telling us for the near future. Let's move on into the 45-minute. 45-minute, we are getting a few blue triangles here. But the fact that our money flow is also moving into that reddish area, it's going to take a little bit more bullish momentum for us to continue moving to the upside here. Usually we want to look for the blue triangles also moving in the same direction as the money flow, and usually the blue triangles are a signal that the trend reversal is happening, but the fact that they're more of a bullish indicator if anything, but the fact that they're moving away from in the opposite direction of our money flow, we can kind of see that our money flow is more into the reddish area as of right now. We had this nice big green money flow here, and then now we are starting to move further down into that reddish area. But we could end up bouncing back up from here. It does look like our money flow is ready to kind of clip to the upside just a tad bit, but these trigger waves right here, you can kind of see where these trigger waves might be sending us a little bit further down too as well. I mean, if we end up getting a red dot here, we could have another trigger wave to send us back down a little bit lower on that money flow there too. So that's another thing we need to keep an eye on moving forward. Let's go on into our hourly. So this was another thing I noticed as well. Our hourly is giving us a blood diamond here. Didn't quite play out as we wanted it to, but I would imagine that we are probably going to put in a lower high with our green money flow here, which will probably end up giving us another trigger wave up here, and that trigger wave will most likely send us back down into that red money flow. So that's something that we need to keep an eye on as well. And then usually once we cross the zero pivot into that red money flow area, we like to get a nice little sell-off sometimes too, especially on our lower time frames. They're really like more of a lead indication of whether or not we're going to end up getting a little bit of a sell-off. We got a little bit of a sell-off here, kind of dip back up, and maybe if we put in another little trigger wave here, we could have a little bit more movement to the downside moving forward. So that's just another thing. We are getting a trigger wave here, maybe sending us up a little bit higher, but money flow is still kind of rounding off just a tad bit, so we need to be very cautious here moving forward from here on out. And we'll kind of have to see exactly how the weekend plays out, but it does look like we are kind of struggling with that 9,500 area, and maybe just making some quick wicks above it, and nothing substantial that might hold, but that's yet to be determined. Guys, if y'all would like to join us in the trading group, we are currently trading this right now, and we're doing pretty well so far. So I highly encourage y'all to come check it out. I have about 12 to 15 different private videos inside of the Patreon page. I teach you how I set up my charts. I give y'all some notes on Market Cipher as well. Also some altcoins that I'm in heavy accumulation of. 2 altcoins that I'm in heavy accumulation of. One of them could actually end up flipping the market cap value of Bitcoin in the near term future. But just a few little insider notes that I will provide for you inside of the Patreon page. And then also you'll have full access to the Discord server and access to my trading bot signals that'll give you at least 3 trades a week, if so, but you need to use your own proper risk management on those as well. But feel free to join us in there as well. If y'all have any questions about it, just message me and I can get back to you then. Let's look at our 90-minute time frame. 90-minute time frame, we can also see money flows kind of rounding off just a tad bit. We are still kind of getting held afloat right now by that money flow, but as our money flow starts to move down into that reddish territory, then we can probably expect maybe another leg to the downside moving forward from here on out. Now we could get a nice little push to the upside here, maybe putting in another trigger wave up at the top of the zero pivot point, and then possibly have a further move to the downside here. So we could see something like this, another little trigger wave to then move us back further, put in maybe a big green dot down here as well. Moving forward, moving on into our 2 hour. 2 hours also giving us a little bit of a sign that the bulls haven't quite given up just yet. We were starting to see a lot of red Heikin-Ashi candles pop off here for us as well moving forward, but now we're starting to see that first sign of a green candle indicating that the bulls haven't given up just yet. But if anything, we'll probably end up seeing another squeeze between our 2 EMAs here, and that could possibly push us down a little bit lower moving forward. This is our last squeeze here, pushed us to the upside. As you can see, money flow was our blue waves are also moving to the top side. Money flow is moving to the top side. I was expecting more of a bearish break there, but at the same time, we got that retest, that 10K area, and then now we're kind of seeing maybe a little bit of a drip sell off with our money with BTC moving forward. Let's move on into our 3 hour. 3 hour, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Cipher SR, and I'll turn on our buy and sell signals, see what they might be telling us here. This is our 3 hour time frame. We're starting to see a little bit of choppiness down here on our blue waves, but we can also see that money flow is ready to possibly turn red pretty soon. So I haven't really looked at the 3 hour just yet, but money flow is already in the red here. Now it could do something like this where we touch the red and then we move right back up into that green area as well. But we are coming out of a nice substantial run up on our 3 hour, especially with the money flow. This is a pretty thick, nice green money flow. But I think these trigger waves right here are just an indication that we could probably hang out into this red area just for a little bit longer. It may not be a very thick red money flow, but it does look like we might hang out somewhere in that red money flow for a little bit longer than expected. Let's move on into our 4 hour. And we're still seeing sell signals here on our 4 hour as well moving forward. But, you know, I think that this is probably more than likely going to give us our EMA squeeze once again. If we dip down below our key EMA here, we'll probably get another squeeze. Money flow also starting to round off on our 4 hour. I mean, this is what, if y'all watched Crypto Face's last video as well, it said it looked like we're headed for a big iceberg basically, and the Titanic might be sinking. So this is what we're kind of looking at, is that the money flow is just rounding off here, and that the party of that 10K area might be over with, you know. So people are going to be looking to maybe take profit, given everything else that's going on right now. I don't blame them. But we'll have to wait a few years, maybe or I wouldn't say a few years, but we'll have to just see how the month ends, if anything, to see if BTC wants to make another run up. Yeah, don't forget, y'all. So the Patreon page is available if y'all want to join us in our trading group there, and be part of a awesome group there. Everyone's very helpful. Everyone's really nice and stuff too. So also, I do offer a YouTube membership page as well. I can go over different charts that y'all are looking at, such as traditional markets, the S&P 500 and all that. I can give you analysis on those as well if you sign up for the YouTube membership. So it is a little bit cheaper than the Patreon page, but it is another option for y'all as well. Just pick a chart that you want me to review with Market Cypher, and then I can go over it for y'all for sure. And then also the newsletter is available. I'll be sending out a new newsletter this month, so make sure that y'all get signed up for it. It is free to sign up for. And then also I do giveaways on it. The next giveaway will be at 3,000 subs, so make sure y'all get signed up for it, because we're steadily growing. I'm super happy. I'm super stoked about it. So don't forget to share this video, hit the like button for the algorithm, and comment down below. Let me hear what you have what you have to say about BTC. If anything, just comment 3,000 subs for me, and that'll be great. And then we can do our next giveaway, and I'll be really happy about that. Let's go back into the charts real quick. Our 4 hour, as we can see, starting to round off just a tad bit. We're probably going to get another bounce here on our blue wave, which will probably send us a little bit further back to the upside. But I think that we could probably anticipate, as this money flow starts to round off just a tad bit more, that we will end up getting into that reddish area moving forward. Let's go on into our 6 hour. And then our 6 hour, you know, also money flow starting to round off just a tad bit. We could get a bounce here, but as of right now, you know, it looks like we're putting in some smaller trigger waves for us here to, you know, we've topped out here, and now we're just kind of making our way back down. So if anything, we could come back up and retest this trend line at about that, you know, 9,700, 9,900 area. And then from there decide, you know, if we're going to bounce all the way back down here, maybe retest this trend line structure at about that 8,200 area, if so, somewhere right around there. As we start to move further into this wedge here, Bitcoin's going to have to make a decision. I do believe that this will be the ultimate decision point of when we get to the end of this wedge here, probably at the end of May. So I'm really looking forward to how May ends up playing out for us, but as of right now, we're going to have to make our way to the end of this wedge, and then Bitcoin's going to have to make a decision from there. I would imagine it's probably going to be a pretty big price movement, if anything. So we can definitely look forward to the end of May, seeing some fireworks. Whether or not it's a you know, a death spiral or we all head to the moon, we'll have to wait to find out. Moving into our 8 hour, we are getting our sell signals on our higher time frames, as y'all can see here. But, you know, also putting in somewhat of some trigger waves here. Money flow still looking relatively healthy here as of right now. That's why I think that we'll probably consolidate out here for the most part. And then once we get to the end of this wedge here, we're really going to have to see exactly how this decides to play out. We are getting a little bit of a green dot here on our 12 hour. So that's another idea just to be aware of. I did get a flash of a sell signal on our 12 hour, but it looks like it went away. Oh, there it is. Speaking of you, little 12-hour sell signal, there you are. Okay, so as y'all can see here, this has been kind of popping off a little bit back and forth. We'll have to wait, let's see, how many more, 10 more hours until that decides to confirm or not. But if it does confirm, we could definitely anticipate some more downside action or just sideways movement before we see another big break in either direction possible. Money flow still looking relatively healthy here, also on our 12-hour. But we are putting in maybe somewhat of a trigger wave here that could possibly send us further to the downside, and then maybe start to round that money flow off for us moving forward. So we'll really have to see exactly how this decides to play out. But like I said, we're looking towards the end of May for Bitcoin to make a decision then, and I do believe that it will be a decision to see what happens here from here on out. If y'all do want to join the Discord server, it is free to join. Just make sure that you abide by the community rules and guidelines. If y'all don't, then I'm going to have to kick you out. But basically, you know, just read through them. Make sure that you're using proper risk management. Make sure that you're being politeful to people in there as well. And then you'll just click a little green checkbox at that welcome page, and then you'll have access to the server. The Patreon private trading group is a paid-for group, and in order to get access to that in the Discord server, you will have to become a Patreon member and sign up through the Patreon link. So just a heads up on that. If y'all do want to keep up to date with me on announcements, I'll provide announcements for y'all in the Telegram channel. I'll show different things that I'm seeing on the charts I thought were very interesting. So I showed the 3 blood diamonds on the 15-minute chart the other day in the Telegram channel, and we had that nice little dump off too. So y'all can stay up to date with me, things that I'm seeing. I'll keep y'all up to date on there. Things that I have going on with Crypto Takeover, I can also keep y'all up to date with the Telegram channel as well. I use the premium plan on TradingView. If y'all do want to upgrade, feel free to use the link in the description box. I actually show y'all in my Patreon private videos how to get these prices for 60% off. So if y'all are interested in that, y'all can go watch the video in the Patreon page as well on how to get the premium Pro Plus plan and Pro plan for 60% off, 50 to 60% off. There's a nice little tip and trick that y'all can use, and I show y'all how to do that too as well. If you are using Market Cipher, I would at least recommend having the Pro Plus plan. It just allows you to have a few more indicators on the screen. As you can see, I have my buy and sell signals on there, which is a custom signal that I teach you how to set up with custom settings on there as well. Also, I have the Aldo EMAs, which I can toggle on and off. And this is basically just a all-in-one EMA indicator. So I have a selection here of different EMAs that I can toggle on and off if I choose to. It's just a nice way to, instead of having a bunch of EMAs on the side of your screen here, which take up a bunch of space, and it allows you to have it all in one indicator. So I show y'all the custom code that I use for that. You can plug that code into TradingView and then use that indicator there for yourself. So I show you how to set that up inside of the Patreon page if you're interested. Our 21-hour. Also, our 21-hour is giving us a sell signal as well. Despite our 12-hour flashing on and off, our 21-hour is giving us that sell signal, probably because we're only getting this red dot here, this trigger wave, possibly moving us a little bit further to the downside. So I would imagine that we'll probably dip underneath our EMA here, and then maybe even see something of a retest of that 50 EMA. Let's see where our 50 EMA was at. It does look like we got like a little bit of a retest at our 50 EMA here in our 21-hour. So we could dip all the way back down to below 9K, 8,600 could definitely be in play. We could probably just wick back down to it if anything. So I would maybe expect that moving forward, maybe a wick down to that 8,600 area if possible. But as we start to see these sell signals, pop off on us, then we'll have to anticipate maybe some downside too moving forward. Our one-day chart, also no sell signal just yet. Starting to see some nice little dojis here on these time frames, though, could be an indecisive direction, or maybe more, or indicating a reversal in direction as well. So yeah, even money flow still looking relatively nice here moving forward, but we can definitely anticipate possibly some more downside movement if we do get a sell signal there, or just moving sideways before Bitcoin decides to make a choice in direction it wants to take. Moving on into our 2-day, we can also see our 2 days also giving us a very nice little money flow here. We did have this sell signal that signaled back when we had that nice dump off. It has not turned into a buy signal just yet. So this could be a nice little lead indication of where Bitcoin might want to be headed to. We did get that back here, but we had another nice little leg up back to our key resistance area. The fact that we are really struggling to break above this key resistance, I honestly don't feel that we have enough bullish momentum to get us past this, to give us the same thing that happened here. So I would imagine that if anything, we'll probably trend out sideways or retrace back down a little bit lower, and then let this sell signal play out just a little bit longer. Maybe come back down and retest the 100 EMA at about that 8200 area, or 8100, 82. As we start to move into this wedge pattern here, then the price will obviously be higher. But we're starting to see a little bit of that topping out motion on our higher time frames as well too, and that was always a thing that I wanted to be really aware of, and where I felt like I could at least call some tops and bottoms moving forward is based on some of these higher time frames as well. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and probably finish up here pretty soon. Feel free to check out the 3 Commas bot. It is a trading bot that y'all can set up on leverage exchanges if y'all are interested in that. So 3 Commas is a great platform to start using if you're interested in making some trading bots for yourself. And then Ledger is obviously a cold storage device that allows you to hold your cryptocurrency off of the exchange. Remember, not your keys, not your coins, right? So make sure you pick up a Ledger Nano S or X and you keep your crypto safe. We usually trade with Bybit in my private trading group for the most part. But if you are brand new to trading and leverage trading in general, I highly encourage y'all to use the testnet before you actually deposit your real BTC onto the exchange. So what you want to do is you want to come over here after you sign up, ask chat support in the bottom right hand corner. You'll see a little chat box. Ask them how to access the testnet. It's like a 2-step process. And then once you get signed up for it, then you can start learning a little bit more about the platform, what all the buttons do, and such as well. Prime XBT is another leverage trading platform. They all can trade the S&P 500, gold and silver, some different fiat currencies, all using Bitcoin too as well. So feel free to check that out. The Brave browser is the browser that I use the most, and it's definitely a very lightweight browser. It's super simple to use. You can add all your same Google Chrome extensions on there as well, but then the main thing is pretty neat is that you can get paid out in BAT token by clicking ads in the bottom right hand corner. So definitely check out the Brave browser if y'all are interested in earning some passive income. Then also CryptoTab browser is another way to earn passive income inside of the crypto space. You can just download the CryptoTab browser and mine Bitcoin straight from your computer. So I can come over here, click on our little CryptoTab mining area. And as you can see, I've been mining Bitcoin with the web browser. It collects BTC for me, and I have it running on 2 different machines right now that I don't really use anymore. You can also download the app on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, and also turn your phone into a mining rig too as well. So pretty cool. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if y'all are interested in that. And then, yeah, join us in the trading group if you want to learn a little bit more. Feel free to, ask questions if you have any questions. I'll usually respond first to Discord messages. So if that's the best way to get a hold of, or that's the best way to at least get a hold of me. Moving into our 3-day, let's take a look at it. I'm still seeing some dojis here. Putting in a green dot. Yeah, I really want to be hesitant about this. It's not a very strong green dot just because our VWAP still kind of trending sideways for the most part here. Our VWAP doesn't really know what it wants to do just yet either. So I could definitely still see this probably end up turning red over the past couple of days, and then maybe us moving back down to, or indicating maybe a top reversal. So guys, with that being said, I'm dragging this video out just a tad bit long today. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Probably, look at this wedge structure, expect something big to happen by the end of May. That's what I'm looking forward to, is probably by the end of May, we'll have a very clear direction of where Bitcoin wants to go post-halvening. So with that being said, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and we'll see y'all on the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.